All right, hello again. Good morning. Like I said yesterday, that we'll get more stuff to you so we collectively can see things a little bit better. But today is really looking at us with the ball. With Augsburg, they man marked a lot, especially the 2-10s on our 2-6s, and trying to find the solution that gets us forward and together so that we can be more dangerous with the ball. Again, it's important to see the key concepts that we want to reinforce and train. In the build part of the game, shape with multiple lines of play. We talked about this even yesterday in the 4v4 plus 4. Purposeful ball circulation, so giving us what we're doing and how we allow ourselves to get to the next action. Positioning between defenders and behind lines of pressure, which is tough when you're man marked. So how do we manipulate those man markers? Then obviously being able to always look forward, finding the higher pass under control so that we can get forward, and then obviously support us as we collectively move forward. So some good views of this. What we're going to start is just a goal kick solution, which is really important to a team that try to go 3v3 across their back three. And so the positioning of Talia in this is important. The decision from Zoe is important. But we play here. She really wants to cut it out. Talia is able to slide down and create a clear angle so that we can play forward. Now, what we're going to watch is even watch their left winger. She kind of jumps inside and all of a sudden changes that. What we'd want is if she stayed wide, that Maya Dempsey would show up in that space as she was starting to. The next step here is this is their outside back that went to Tally. So once again, their outside back jumps out to Tally, which means our attacking mid, Maya Dempsey in this case, is against their center back. So can we go from here, touch, she's already left, to Maya Dempsey vertical. They pressed hard, early part of the game, but that's one where as soon as that outside back goes, we would be ready. The next thing we look at is because of the nature of how they defended and trying to lock us on, like in this case on the left side, player for player everywhere, we have to understand where is the space for us to play. It is not down the left side. We can try to connect very intricate combinations, but here, as soon as we get to this space and this situation, it is how do we get to the other side? So if you look at the other side, Zoe's free, Ellie's free. We have room to play. Jamie's floating high into this space. There's a lot of things here that says we should be playing on this side. And it's more about how do we get there? And you'll see it in the next clip. But it's important that this is going to be the case. We're going to play on the left. They're going to man mark everywhere, or they're going to really restrict the space. So we know early that this isn't the space we want to play. We're not going to walk into this and play right into a press. So Lee, Hillis, Zoe in this case have to all collectively understand that we are not meant to play in this space anymore. So on the clip you can see kind of it's not on a build out, but more of we regained, we reset, and Hillis is on the ball. And you can see where is the space. Maya is able to dribble out, play a little bit, and then find Zoe. Now, Zoe plays the ball back into the same space, and what we would ask is that then Jamie slides down and we start to play in here. That Elise is our attacking mid. She should be communicating to Zoe that we're playing in this space. So Zoe has the time and space to move us to the right. Just understand, and even Elise had dropped off, and their outside back hadn't followed her. So again, we got there, but then the decision after we escaped the pressure was to go back in. Good image. This is a similar situation in the second half. Lee's got the ball on a switch. Now we can say that our back three distances aren't great. Lee's kind of stuck in the middle, but the solution in the space is pretty obvious when you look at a freeze frame of it. Maya Dempsey, I think, was the case at the 10. We would want her to arrive back in. And even in this case, that's still a tough pass, but we want it to be an option for Lee. In the end, Lee's best bet was probably just to play negative into Bella and get our shape again and go. But in this case, we still didn't even have the structure to play forward. So one, the structure has to get there. But two, the back three have to make a decision not to play the ball forward then, because it's not going to be a situation where we get to keep it. So Bella demands it. Hillis coordinates it. We have to find the shape again. This is not a play forward situation. Okay. The next thing we'll look at is it's really important that our wing backs read the distance. So as this player goes to press, we need to adjust our distance. So Tally was wanting the ball in behind. But again, watch. As the pressure mounts, we can't look for the ball in behind because now that's really tough for Zoe to play. So if Tally reads it and just looks. Even that from the coaching perspective, we're like, oh, can you hit it long? But if she can't and the direction is not there, she goes hard, then Tally slides down to her left and we find feet. We left a kind of random balls out of bounds because we didn't read the pressure. We didn't create an easy angle for our players to keep it. Hey, for us, this next one I think is really good because it's a good example of after we get the ball back, we start to collect enough passes. 1, 2, and now we've had enough to where we can 3, get our shape. So watch the difference. So now we're able to get the ball out. What I'll say here is that ball from Lee is really tough. And the reason why I say that is it is tough because it's a ball in the air. We're trying to play to feet, and the distance in which Lee is trying to make the pass. So that's a pretty long pass. So in soccer, the longer the pass, the more time the defenders have to read it. So a really long pass in the air, somewhat in the air to a person's feet, defenders are going to gobble it up. It's really difficult. What we'd want is Lee to keep carrying and pull that player away. If you watch again, look at where Emily Hillis, the center back, is. We have a 3v2. We want to beat the 3v2 because their winger followed our wing back. So they have a central striker and a left winger that's trying to defend our 3. So watch as it gets back around. So this is their central striker going to Lee. Their other winger is now worried about where the wing back is. And so we could have used Hillis. We could have drove through the middle. Again, it's just recognizing, looking up, and if the situation isn't right, we don't have to play the ball into it. We forced the ball forward more than we needed to. And that was part of the reason why maybe we struggled a little bit in being able to advance and be dangerous enough with the ball, is that we weren't able to solve that initial problem. This last clip, I think it became the pattern of the game. That forced long ball, we dropped off. You guys read it really well. And then we started to play. So again, we've collected enough passes. We're starting to get our shape. You can start to see people moving in. Now, again, the quality of that, the speed in which we do it, Lee gets really good depth and better positioning. So now she's got some more time. And even here, this first initial pass did not go off. But here, now we have that space to attack. And what we're going to see is we tried to play that first ball over the top. It didn't work. But Maya Dempsey quickly gets pressure back on the ball, and then we press again. And now we have the space to play that good ball. Katie's able to be dangerous. And what I like here is that Katie got her head up. And instead of trying to find a tough ball in, she found Tally at a good angle, who was then able to put in a dangerous shot cross, but it really caused them trouble. And you know, on a different day with different wind, that's a goal, but we got a corner out of it. And what I'm going to ask you guys to look at as you look at this is when Maya wins the ball or picks up the ball from the loose pass that went into Ellie that kind of leaked through, is who has the open space. So as Katie looked to run in behind, as Adela went to run in behind, it squeezed and narrowed their back line. And that is when we want to find the wing back. So watch this. So we beat. Now look at, they're squeezing in. Tally on the right side is free. That is the pass that would get us forward and be able to progress and still play and keep it. Now, it was great defensive effort by Maya. This next ball was fantastic. So there was a lot of positive in it, but we know that we can get more people into the attacking half. That's the important thing. We need more numbers. Tally delivers that dangerous in-between ball, and there's our best go. So, girls, I think there was a really good segments. Again, playing an athletic back line who was tough to break down, and a good front three that pressed. But I really think that our patience piece, we could have switched the ball a little bit more. We probably could have used Bella just a touch more, especially as the half went on. They struggled to keep their press as aggressive as it was. And, we just left some opportunities to cleanly get the ball forward, and we went into situations that were really tough. So we'll work on that again today. How do we bypass that first line of pressure so that the entry into the next phase is cleaner and not so hard for us to deal with?